It started with a lie. Not a huge, world-shattering lie, just one of those small, careless lies people tell to dodge the truth. But that one lie spiraled into a chain of events so dark, so unpredictable, that by the end of the night, one person was dead, another's life was destroyed, and an entire community was left asking, how could nobody have seen this coming? This is not a movie. This isn't fiction. This happened right here in the United States, and it proves how sometimes all it takes is one night, one secret, and one murder to change everything. Our story takes place in a quiet suburban town in Indiana, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone, and crime usually means a stolen bike or a noise complaint. At the center of it all is Jessica Miller, a 27-year-old nurse. Jessica was hardworking, the kind of person who always showed up early for her shifts, smiled at her patients, and had dreams of eventually becoming a nurse practitioner. To her neighbors, she was friendly, responsible, normal. Then there's Ethan Carter, Jessica's boyfriend. Ethan was 29, a construction worker, known around town as the life of the party. Loud, funny, a guy who could make anyone laugh when he was sober. But when he drank, things got ugly. Jessica's friends had quietly worried about the relationship. The arguments, the bruises she brushed off as clumsy accidents. But Jessica always defended him. He just has a temper. He's trying to change. And then there's a third name, Rachel Harris, Jessica's best friend since high school. Rachel was the opposite of Ethan, steady, quiet, cautious. She had warned Jessica countless times. He's no good for you. You can do better. 3 people, 3 lives tangled together, and one night, everything would shatter. It was a chilly Friday night in November 2019. Jessica had just finished a long double shift at the hospital. She was exhausted, but agreed to meet Ethan and a few friends at a local bar. Ethan hated when she skipped nights out. He accused her of choosing work over him. Jessica agreed. But instead of going straight there, she stopped by Rachel's apartment first. She needed advice. The arguments with Ethan were getting worse. Just the night before, he'd accused her of cheating over a simple text from a coworker. Rachel begged her, "You need to leave him. Tonight, please." Jessica didn't say yes, but she didn't say no either. She told Rachel she was heading home early. She was too tired for the bar. She wanted sleep. That was the lie. Instead of going home, Jessica drove straight to the bar where Ethan was waiting. And that small decision, choosing to lie to her best friend, would set everything in motion. The bar was loud, crowded, buzzing with the weekend crowd. Jessica walked in, forced a smile, and slid into the booth next to Ethan. At first, everything seemed normal. Drinks flowed, laughter filled the air. Ethan wrapped an arm around her and whispered, "See, I told you it'd be fun." But by 11 p.m., Ethan was drunk, very drunk. And drunk Ethan was a different person. An innocent conversation Jessica had with a male coworker who happened to be there turned into a fight. Ethan's voice rose. He accused her of flirting, of humiliating him in front of his friends. Jessica tried to calm him down, but everyone at the table could feel the tension. By midnight, they left the bar. Witnesses later remembered seeing them arguing in the parking lot. Jessica's voice was sharp. Ethan's face twisted with anger. But eventually, they got into his truck and drove off into the night. That was the last time anyone besides Ethan saw Jessica alive. At 3:12 a.m., neighbors on Willow Creek Drive woke up to the sound of shouting, a man's voice, a woman's scream, then silence. The next morning, Jessica's car was still parked outside Ethan's house, but Jessica was gone. For 2 days, nobody heard from her. She didn't show up for her shift at the hospital, something her coworkers immediately found suspicious. Jessica was the kind of nurse who never skipped work without calling. On the 3rd day, police were called, and when they entered Ethan's house, they found signs of a struggle, a broken lamp, a smear of blood near the kitchen doorway, and in the backyard, buried under freshly turned soil, was Jessica's body. She had been strangled. The town was stunned. Ethan was arrested on the spot. But here's where things got stranger. Ethan claimed he didn't kill Jessica. He admitted they fought that night. He admitted he lost his temper. But according to him, Jessica left the house alive. He insisted she stormed out, slammed the door, and never came back. So how did she end up dead in his backyard? Investigators dug deeper, and slowly a darker picture emerged. Phone records showed Jessica had texted Rachel at 1:47 a.m. The message read, "I should have listened to you. I'm scared." That was the last text she ever sent. Surveillance cameras from a nearby gas station showed Ethan's truck parked there at 2:30 a.m. He was alone, buying cleaning supplies, bleach, garbage bags, duct tape. When confronted with this, Ethan broke. He admitted that after the fight, he snapped. He strangled Jessica in the kitchen. Then, panicked, he tried to cover it up. He buried her in the backyard, hoping, somehow, that nobody would notice. One lie, one night, one murder. In court, Ethan's defense argued he never meant to kill her. They called it a crime of passion, a moment of uncontrollable anger. But prosecutors painted a different picture: years of emotional abuse, escalating violence, and a man who refused to let go of his control over a woman trying to break free. Rachel took the stand, her voice shaking, as she read Jessica's last text aloud. The courtroom sat in silence. Jurors later said it was that text, the raw fear in Jessica's final words, that sealed Ethan's fate. He was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 40 years in prison. In the months that followed, the town struggled to move on. Jessica's co-workers set up a scholarship fund in her name for nursing students. Rachel, shattered by guilt, kept asking herself, if I had pushed harder, if I had gone over there that night, would Jessica still be alive? But the truth is chilling. All it took was one lie. A simple, "I'm going home early," and Jessica walked straight into her own nightmare. This is the danger of the lies we tell. Not the big, elaborate ones, but the small, casual lies that seem harmless in the moment. Because sometimes those lies lead us down paths we never intended to walk. Jessica Miller's story is a haunting reminder. In the end, it only takes one lie, one night, and one murder nobody saw coming.